And good evening, Council. My name is Christy Batterson. I'm the Housing and Community Development Manager for the City of Edmond. I also oversee our transit system, CityLink. I'm here before you to have consideration and approval for the modifications, minor modifications to 2 routes, and then request that we move the transfer center to its current location, to the new location on 3rd Street. Just to give a brief overview of our current system, we run 6 routes every 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and we run 6 routes on Saturdays for 1 hour. We also have a commuter route. Route 1 goes to Walmart, goes up Broadway to Danforth. Route 2 comes out and goes down to Crest. Route 3 goes currently down 2nd Street and around down out to Vista Lane and then down Bryant by Edmond Memorial and then back up Broadway. Route 4 goes around UCO and out by Target and back in to Festival Market. Route 5 is a circular route. It goes from Festival Market down Boulevard to 33rd and back up Broadway. And finally, our 6th route, we run 2 buses on that route. It runs out to I-35 to Sam's, Walmart, to both Mercy's, Integris Hospital, and then back in. The shaded area is our current paratransit, which is our door-to-door service of those individuals that live within 3/4 of a mile from a fixed route. And that, as just to remind everybody, that all our routes, fixed and door-to-door, are fare-free. Our proposed, right now, all our service converge on Festival Market and have for several years. Every 30 minutes, Monday through Friday. And on Saturdays, we run from 9:15 to almost 6 o'clock at night. Numerous occasions, one of the reasons why we're proposing to move this is numerous occasions throughout the year, we have to move the transfer center because of activities that are happening at Festival Market. And again, on Saturdays, because of our farmers market, we cannot pull into Festival Market. So we have to use 1st Street right in front of Festival Market to unload and load passengers. So you can imagine having 6 buses on Saturday mornings in the middle of farmers market is quite congested. Also, our current area that we use for parking Monday through Friday, there's several times throughout the day that we can't get our buses in because people are using that, utilizing that parking area, even though we have signs dedicated for our buses. It's a good problem to have, as busy as downtown is having, but it's not safe for our passengers and it's not safe for our drivers. Our drivers have to worry about enough things around them. And we've had several accidents recently of vehicles backing into the buses because they don't see our buses behind them when they're backing up in this area. Currently, our CityLink maintenance facility is located off at 3rd Street. This is Broadway right here. This is Edmond Mobile Mills for those that are familiar with it. This city owns several properties around here, and as well as this has been designated or zoned as our future transportation area. We are proposing to use this 3rd Street parking lot right here. I believe several council meetings ago you approved for this parking lot to be repaved. It was in disrepair and needed to be repaved. That has started and is almost finalized, but we are proposing to utilize this parking as for all our passengers for all 6 routes, as well as our commuter route. We will be relocating 2 shelters onto this parking lot for right now for the interim. Future plans are to build what we call like a pass-through, so the buses, if you're familiar with Embark down in Oklahoma City, their buses come in a covered area and disembark and board. And that's in the future if you approve this move. The minor changes to Route 3, currently we have 3 buses, and I am sure if you've been on 2nd Street anytime during the day, you see little stacked buses going down 2nd Street. Route 3, Route 4, Route 5, and Route 6 actually go down 2nd Street. And so we're proposing to make Route 3 an out and back versus a looped feature. So it would leave the new transfer center, go down Broadway, east on 15th, up north on Bryant, go into the Bryant Square area, and then reverse its route coming back in. This will serve the south part of Broadway from 2nd to 15th Street. It will also serve part of 15th that's not currently served as well. It's served when we're going westbound but not eastbound. And it will also make it a little bit more efficient and on time. Route 6, currently Route 3 services Vista Lane right now. Route 6 only services it going eastbound. And when it's going out to I-35, we're proposing that it serve both outbound and inbound, taking that away from Route 3, which will make Route 3 more efficient. The other minor route changes would be because we're moving from the Festival Market area to the 3rd Street and starting services. We don't find that this will delay us any. Occasionally, we may have to turn right and go down to like 5th Street and turn around depending on traffic on Broadway and making that left turn out of the 3rd Street area. Again, this is the 3rd Street proposal. Coming out of the 3rd Street Transfer Center and going down Broadway, 15th, up Bryant to the Bryant Square area. This would also serve that Spring Creek area that's not currently served when going northbound because we only go southbound currently. And then 6, again, Vista Lane would get served twice versus on Route 6 versus just the once. None of this is removing service. In fact, it's actually adding service, and it's making our routes more efficient for Route 3. Our Edmond Mobility Commission recommended for approval on September 21st. And with that, I will take any questions.
Council, any questions?
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Really appreciate the work of the Edmond Mobility group that's very focused on working on that. One thing is, I know is in that area, how do you feel, or did they have a discussion about, you start crossing the road second, as far as getting over to where, where Edmond Mobile Mills is?
It is something that we're going to have to watch. I should have said on Saturdays because of until recently when construction started, we actually utilized the 3rd Street. We had to move it out away from Festival Market. It just wasn't safe to keep it there on Saturdays. So I haven't heard of any incidences or anybody having issues, but I know it is something that engineering department and the planning department are looking at to see what we can do to better make that area safer to cross.
And it's tough because that area of my ward, you're really constrained on the space right there with 2nd Street. And I know ideally we want to be able to tie in where you got the grocery store that's right there, and then people eventually can go down to the new park and tying all that together. But there's definitely a mobility kind of pedestrian pinch point right there. So we'll just have to work collectively and seeing how we can do that.
Yeah. And we'll continue looking at it. We're going to have to look at it with the buses as well as pulling out, making a northbound turn onto Broadway. If anybody's been certain times of the day, it's hard to make any turns right there. So we'll just have to make adjustments.
It seemed like the changes were also pretty minor, but I always want to ask because based on where we have our routes, we're allowed to then have that medical option. Mm-hmm. Any of our Edmond citizens, friends, seniors going to be impacted by that?
No,
okay.
Actually, this won't change any service for the para door-to-door. Yeah.
So we're still good with those that rely on that for
Correct.
For their doctor appointments and whatnot. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
Thank you very much.